channel's been quiet for a while, but we're back. There's going to be a lot of changes happening in terms of content and what I'm going to be putting out, but I'll get into all of that in a different video. So today's video is the Cage Warriors special. Unfortunately, a couple of the fighters who were scheduled to appear on today's video haven't been able to because of work and time commitments, which is fine. We'll try and get them on an episode as quick as we can, and we'll make sure it's on before the next fight. All the lads you are going to hear from today are fighting on Cage Warriors 98 at the Genting Arena in Birmingham on October the 20th. Firstly, I headed through TFT MMA to catch up with Perry Goodwin and Lewis Monarch ahead of their bouts. Perry, Louis, thanks for joining us. You've both got big fights coming up, October 20th on the Birmingham card. I know we're early into the sort of training camp, but how's it going?
For me, it's perfect. I'm like going into camp fit this time. That doesn't really happen often. I'm a fat boy, so I'm ready to go.
I feel mint. My weight's not too bad compared to what I used to be. I used to be fat as well. I'm the weight below now, so I'm still quite heavy-eyed. But nah, my weight's on target now, and I've just had a nice holiday there. But I was training when I was away as well, so I feel good.
And Perry, you've got a massive fight against Yakin coming up. He's a hard hitter, you're known for your power. The last fight I know didn't really go sort of the way you wanted to, like taking you down to the ground quite a bit. How do you see this one going?
Not like last time. He wants to stand, he boxes a lot. I like to strike as well, so hopefully we'll meet in the middle and we'll have some fun, but I think he's a bit too stiff for me, wooden, but it's going to be fun.
It's another one down at lightweight for you as well. He's a big lad as well.
Like I say, he carries a little bit more muscle than me, but like I say, I fought welterweight before and I wasn't a welterweight, and now I'm making lightweight easy, so I think I'll have a little bit of cardio on my side as well.
In Louis, for you, it's the new look sort of featherweight tournament that you're going into. What do you make of the whole concept of that sort of?
I'm buzzing for it. I think it's just come at a perfect time, really. I didn't have like the best run of fights, but they were good close fights, and I got a couple of wins, and then the tournament came up and they've just signed us for it, so I'm buzzing for it.
In the four-man tournament, you've got the potential of coming up against anybody if we get through this first round, so who for you would you say is the toughest fight out of the three other lads?
I think I'm just thinking about like that Dane Truman who I'm fighting, really. I haven't watched much of the others, but I think they're all good, high level, so I'm not bothered which one.
Lose the champ with this, swear down, hands down, man. You're touching it.
In both of you as well, train at TFT. I know Perry, especially you've travelled quite a distance to get in for training and stuff. You look at the sort of calibre of pro fighters in here. What is it that attracts you to fighting at TFT?
It's not so much the fighters as much as it is the reason that I'm here. It's the coaching, everyone is effort. Everyone gives you effort. Like they're gonna put it. Come on, where's my confidence come from? Oh, you guys giving me an acclimate. I was like, I'm not really the best fighter. I know I can hit hard, but I'm not the best. And then these tell me, oh, you're good. And then what? A 4-fight win streak. I've come off 2 losses, but I'm going to get back up there.
In Louis, for you?
Perry's a beast. It's just, I was lucky, like, you know, like when you see people go to just whatever gym's close to them, and this was like, literally, I've done bits, like a lot of training with my dad, but nothing specific when I was younger, just like growing up bits of boxing and that. And then luckily this was like the first gym I came to. Fisher had like 3 lads or something, amateur fighters, and then I started going to the grappling class, and luckily for me it's one of the best gyms in the country, if not the world.
That's a massive statement, that, Louis, but I can see like you fully believe that as well. I've just been to America there, that Hard Knocks gym, UFC fighters, mint gym, but Fisher's coaching is second to none, honestly. And both of you on Cage Warriors as well. What was the sort of attraction to that promotion for you?
Yeah, for me, I just want picking up. I was struggling to get fights. Like, I'm always ready to go. Like, I want to fight. I'll fight anyone that's go, and no one wanted it. And the guys would take fights and they'd pull out last minute. They're out of nowhere. Like, all right, well, we've got a 4-fight or 5-fight contract for you. I was like, yeah, sign it. And that was it for me. I don't mind where I fight or who I fight, but it's nice to be on a big promotion.
Yeah. Louis?
Just same as what Perry said, like every fighter who fights for Cage Warriors is like a top athlete. Like most of them, Perry's not, and I wasn't until recently, but most of them train twice a day. But Perry's got a job full time, and I've just recently, about 6 months ago, went full time training because I got like made redundant, but I'm just taking it as opportunity to train more. But obviously, like Perry works, but everyone who's signed to them are training like twice a day, the majority.
Yeah.
And the caliber of fighters is mint, and that's what I want to test myself against.
How hard is it as well, you currently, when you were juggling it between full-time work and trying to train as hard as you can for big fights?
Well, I take my full-time work, like 10-hour shifts, 6 days a week. And then there's my first training session for the day, scaffolding. And then I'll come here, I'll get changed on my dinner break, jump in my car, come here, be about 5-10 minutes late, train for 2 hours, maybe stay back a little bit after, do some paddling.
Stays back every night he's back. Yeah, he's always staying back.
But like that's it. How much do you want it? I'm grinding more than anyone. Like I like money. I like nice things. I've just bought a house. I want to go on holiday. But I also want to be a fighter. I'm going to do both. And I might be one of the first people to do it. But let's see.
How did you find it as well, Louis, when you were sort of training and working full time to now training full time?
It's difficult, especially for me, because I need my bed all the time. But working full time is hard, but this is what we love doing, so it's better now because I'm getting more training in. But sometimes you've got to make sacrifices, as Perry's doing, because he's got a house, he's got a girlfriend and stuff. And
my girlfriend's cost money, so the houses.
I've just been engaged, like, so I need money as well, but that's why I'm going to win these fights and get the big dollar for us, you know what I mean?
In for you both, can I get a prediction off you both as to how you see your fights ending?
I'm going to beat him up and put him away. I don't know when, but I'm going to beat him up and I'm going to put him away. So that's me.
I think it's going to be like a tough fight. I know he's durable, but I see myself getting the finish as well.
If you've got any sponsors or anything you want to shout out, go for it.
I've got 0 sponsors, I grab for my money, but everyone at Brown Scaffolding giving us a hand, trying to help us out with the support, everyone coming down, spot on, thanks a lot.
And if there is businesses watching this that want to get into sponsoring, how are they going to get in contact with you, mate?
I'm on my Facebook, I've got a fight page, anywhere, anyone wants to shot some support my way, from Sunny Red Car, and anything's welcome.
And what's your fight page so they can find it on Facebook?
It'd be Perry the Predator Goodwin.
Louis, you got sponsors? Or?
I have. I've got a local lad called Hyder. He's got a local pizza shop, and he sponsors us. He just loves the fighting, and he just obviously wants to help out a local lad. And we're fighting fit physiotherapy.
My man.
He's just our pal. He just sorts us out with treatment and stuff when we're feeling run down, isn't he?
Yeah, sorts us right out. He's a good bloke.
He's like one of the lads who trains at the gym.
Training at the gym, always any niggles and that's where I go fighting fit, to be honest, yeah. I always need to remember that one though, yeah.
Spot on, lads, that's everything. Thank you very much
for your
time. Cheers.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also caught up with welterweight title challenger Ross Houston ahead of his biggest fight to date. So, it's sort of, I know it's relatively late in your training camp, mate, but how's things going? How's everything looking?
Training's going mint. I've just kept the ball rolling since beating Nathan Jones down in London on my last fight. So, I'm building the fitness on top of that. Getting some good rounds. Been lots of rounds into prep for a potential 5 round. You know what? I'm just feeling good, man. I'm ready to fight now, to be honest. The fight can't come soon enough. Ready to rock.
Does your training change any? Sort of with it being a world title fight, or does everything more or less stay the same?
Nah, you know what? I got asked just the other day actually. I've always trained 5 fives. In terms of like the actual training, it's to be honest, I'm training like 8 fives now. Because I trained 5 fives when I was fighting 3 rounds. So I've upped the rounds a wee bit. But in terms of like the world title fight and all that, I never put any pressure on myself anyway. To be honest, I'm confident I'm going to win any fight that I go into, but I never think about any external factors about like what people would think of this and that, But you know what? In my mind, I know the like this has got massive implications winning this fight, So trust me, man. I'm not letting it slip through my fingers, man. He's getting smashed and taking that belt.
Have you had much of a chance to look at Stefano, sort of see where you think what he's going to do with the fight?
I've looked at a wee bit of him. He looks like a game man. I think he's he comes forward. He throws a lot of wild hooks and all that. He doesn't cut much weight. I saw him at his last show, man. He's tiny. I'm going to be too big for him. He doesn't really cut much weight, so if his fitness will probably be good if he's not carrying. He's walking around with that weight. So I'm nailing a lot of cardio just now. But in terms of style, it's just whatever. To be honest, it's think the difference is going to be I'm more of a fighter. You know, these people going about like obviously you've got to train in martial arts and all that, but the way I look at it, it's a fight when you're in there. You know, everyone does the same thing. Trains the boxing, the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling, but when you're in there, it's about who's got the biggest heart, who's got this. You know, whose head's strong in there, man, and who wants it more. You know, so the way I see it, man, is dog eat dog when we go in there, man. There's not a chance. He's beating me up to over 20. I'm ripping that belt off his waist, man.
In the world title fight is the biggest fight for you in your MMA career so far. If we go all the way back to sort of day one, for people who don't know, how did you sort of get in MMA and what was your sort of background leading up at this point?
Yeah, I started, you can probably tell from the accent, I started training down near Birmingham actually, so it's almost on a full circle. A mate just took me along to an MMA club. You know, he stopped coming and I got the bug and I carried on training. You know, and the rest is history really. And then a couple of years later, I moved. You know, I started off, I had like a crappy amateur record. I remember I was fighting on these crappy like town hall shows, you know, in front of like 50, 100 people. Then my mum and dad, all my family's Scottish, you know, so I got a Scottish blood. We had like a family croft, like a farming house up here, so we moved up here. It's about 7 years ago now, and it was weird. Like, you know, I kind of I stopped doing MMA when I came up here. I went to the amateur boxing scene. I did that for a few years. Had a bit of time off offshore for 2 years, and then I came back into it. You know, I was sitting there offshore, and I was like, you know what, this ain't for me. You know, MMA was my passion. You know, and I saw there wasn't really an MMA club in the Highlands, so I saw a market for it. You know, I was just like, screw this. I'm opening up an MMA club, and I'm gonna give I'm gonna give the career a proper shot. You know, because I was kind of do things half-assed before that. You know, but now I train like an animal. You know, all the time, man. It's on my mind 24/7. So things it's been like a domino effect, you know. And I was I remember, you know, if you told me 2 years ago that I was going to be in this situation, you know, I wouldn't have believed. You know, things have just kind of spiraled. You know, something clicked in my head a few years ago, and I was like, you know, I used to overthink things and put too much pressure on myself, and now I'm like, I couldn't care less. You know, it's just me against whoever in front of the cage. You put me in front against anyone, I'm beating them, man. It's just me against them. Who's got the strongest mindset? So I put in that work. I'm prepared. But when it's me against another man in the cage, I'm coming out on top every single time.
And then we'll fast forward to October 20th, and so you've been with Cage Warriors for a long time now. What does it sort of mean you now to eventually get that title shot? And were you a little bit miffed, I guess, there was a big argument that you could have had it instead of Nathan Jones on your last fight?
You know, I thought I might have got it, to be honest, but you know, I'm not one to dwell on things and whinge about it. So, you know, I had a feeling that they might have brought someone in because I've seen them do it in the past. You know, bringing like late replacements or bringing people from other promotions. You know, that's why I called him a random Italian after him. You know, I was like, yeah, I know he's good. Like, you know, he's beat some good people, man. But I never heard of him. You know, it's kind of like I was on a 4-fight win streak in Cage Warriors. You know, so the game in Nathan Jones, I was like, you know what, he's fought for Obama world title before. He's fought in Bellator. You know, he's an experienced vet. Before that, I'd kind of taken up and coming prospects. I think, you know, but Nathan Jones was like a 20+ belter. Fought for these like good belts like Bama and that, and you know, I think I put a stamp down by taking him out, man. And you know, I felt like it was the second gear, so I've got plenty more to give. And then you know, Paterno came out on top. You know, so let's do it. Looking forward to it.
And if you do get that belt around your waist, it's well known that the UFC have got a big sort of looking at Cage Warriors, and there's a lot of champions that have went on. Is that in the back of your mind at all, or are you just taking it one fight at a time?
You know what, it's hard not to be in the back of your mind, because that was a dream when I started off. It's everyone's dream to get to the UFC. I had offers from different promotions before this title fight, you know, and I got given the title shot. I turned all the rest of the offers down because I was like, Cage Warriors is the direct route to the UFC. So I'm chuffed how it's worked out. You know, because I'm going to bag this title October 20th. Go to UFC, then I can always look back and say, you know, I was Cage Warriors world champion, and then you know, I want to win UFC. I'm not there to make up the numbers again, you know. But you know, it sounds like I'm never overlooking anything. It's just I'm strong-minded, you know. I visualize it, and I've got a lot of self-belief. You know, I know I'm going to get there. I put in the work. It's not me just talking crap. You know, just saying this and that, man. I'm out grafting every single day, working like a dog. You know, morning, noon, and night. Every aspect of my life is around it pretty much. I've got a strong support network around me. You know, my girlfriend, my family, my friends, my sponsors, and they all look after me, man. So we're all going to do this, man. We're going to get to the UFC and get this world title around our waist, Cage Warriors, like October 20th.
I'm interested as well on your sort of thoughts. If we look at the welterweight division in the UFC now, Woodley, champ, undisputed champ, been there for a long time now, but he still seems to come under quite a lot of criticism from fans about maybe being a boring fighter. What's your sort of take on that?
I don't think so. You know, I can't. The way I look at it, me and my dad watched Darren Till against Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah.
And he thought it wasn't the most exciting fight, but I think the common denominator is Wonderboy Thompson, you know, and I think Tyron Woodley got a lot of stick after the 2 fights with Wonderboy Thompson, you know. But before that, he was like knocking everyone out, wasn't he? Or putting away.
Yeah.
I think it's just real hard to fight Wonderboy Thompson. He's a hard dude to beat, so and definitely a hard guy to put away. So, you know, I think he got a bit of stick for that. But you know, the way he put away Darren Till, I wanted Darren Till to win. I thought Darren Till was going to pull it off, but you know, the way that he put Darren Till away, man, you can't really fault him, man. He's at the top for a reason, you know. He's a beast.
And if we bring it back locally, you're training, sort of living in Scotland now as well. In terms of UK MMA, the whole scene seems to be really jumping at the minute, but just how good do you think Scottish MMA in particular is at the minute, with the likes of Paul Craig and the UFC? You've got Chris Bungard just signing to Bellator, yourself fighting for this Cage Warriors world title. You
know what? Things are looking good. I'm right up in the north of Scotland, in the Highlands. You know, so it's looking good, man. You got likes of me, obviously. You got Paul McBain down in Aberdeen. He's not far from me. He's fighting Aidan Lee. You got Aidan Stephen, who's coming through the ranks now. You probably his name will probably be popping up there pretty soon. You know, it's looking good, to be honest. You know, I kind of think you know, that next wave is coming. You know, I think Paul Craig, Stevie Ray, and all that, they're still going to be there smashing it. But it's just good to see, you know, the cavalry arrive. You know, and, come to the UFC for a bit of backup. And let's get someone. You know, Chris Duncan's a bit of a beast. He's down in Sterling as well, man. So I think you'll see his name up there soon. But yeah, things are looking good, man. And the more the merrier, because we want that UFC Glasgow to come back.
Yeah.
Leave my ticket.
And you mentioned as well before about your sponsors and your family support, and the floor's yours, mate. If you've got any sponsors you want to shout out or anything like that.
You know what? Just thanks to absolutely everyone. You know who you are, everyone who supports me. Like you said, friends, family, sponsors, training partners, coaches, everyone who's rooting for me. Even the people who want me to lose, man. Because, you know, all publicity is good publicity. So, thank you to everyone.
And finally, mate, can I get a prediction on how you see the fight going?
You know what? I don't like to make predictions. I'm going to dominate, just put it that way. I'm going to dominate. I'll go with the flow. Wherever the fight goes, you'll see me dominating on the feet, up the cage, on the ground. Every single exchange, every single scramble, I'm going to win. And I'm going to dominate. My prediction is that belt's going to be around my waist, and that's not a prediction, that's what's going to happen October 20th.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Not a problem, bro. Catch you later.
Thank you. See you later, mate. Bye.
I'd also like to thank everybody for their continued support of the channel. I know it's been quiet for a long time, but we're back for good now. There's going to be a lot more videos, a lot more content, and a lot more interviews. We've also got merch available as well, so if you want to buy that, check that out in the description below. And a big thank you as well to our sponsor CBD Life. They've been a great support, and if you want to check them out, they'll be in the description below.